Next, I would like to introduce Robin Ohlgren. Robin is most recently the Southeast Washington Economic Development Agency's director, as well as the co-chair of the Palouse Knowledge Corridor. And she's going to give us an update on what's going on in her neck of the woods.
We're going to take a break from the PowerPoint. Thanks, Shelley, for inviting me here today. It's a great opportunity for me to share some of the things that are happening in Whitman County. So I am the Whitman County Director of SWEET. I've been on the job for 9 months. I'm not new to the area. I've lived on the Palouse for 35 years, but mostly on the east side. So in the last 9 months, I've been getting acquainted with the communities in Whitman County. It's surprising what I didn't know about them. It's a great adventure, and anyone who knows me knows how much I like to network and connect people and ideas. So this just expands the opportunities to collaborate as a region. So I'm going to echo the sentiments that have already been said before me with Bill and Pete's presentations. Whitman County is in a period of optimism and growth, and it's an exciting time to be here. The most impressive, as was indicated, I'm going to draw from Steve Peterson's presentation at the Inland Northwest Partners meeting the other day, and he did indicate that the most impressive growth figure in Pullman is the 1,000 new jobs that have been added at Schweitzer over the last 10 years. That's pretty significant growth in this community. And WSU over the last 10 years has grown by 3,000 students. My numbers differ a little bit from Bill's, but I think I'm looking at a little different time frame. And President Floyd has some really big ideas and a good vision ahead of us, so stay tuned. And since 2010, Whitman's employment has increased by 14% as of the last census. That puts us 11th in the ranking of the 39 counties in Washington. So we are in the top quarter of growth in the state of Washington. And given our geographic isolation, I think that's pretty impressive too. And we rank second in the state in population growth. So these are optimistic figures. It's encouraging, and it also feels pretty sustainable. And as I remind the smaller communities in Whitman County, there is a trickle-down or a trickle-out effect of this economic development and activity in Pullman, and so they will feel it later. We just need to be patient in the smaller communities. So looking closer at some of those numbers, manufacturing is first in the industry sector regarding growth in Whitman County. A lot of that is due to SEL, but other light manufacturing is coming on board as well. The second sector, as far as job growth in Whitman County, is the business and enterprise management. And this reflects some of our bigger organizations' growth, but also our emerging startups and small companies that are expanding. And we can't underestimate the impact of our small companies. The small business are often the most stable economic vitality in our smaller rural communities, and they have potential to grow. Remember, SEL was a startup at one time too. And those of us who are selling homes, recruiting businesses and students are the economic ambassadors to our region, and we need to support what we have, welcome new opportunities, and encourage new growth whenever we can. The third sector that is growing fastest in Whitman County is arts, entertainment, and recreation. And anyone who attends the Lentil Fest or St. John's boat races or has been down to the updated marina at Boyer Park, you can notice increased traffic on the bike lanes, proliferation of art walks, plein air events, and first Thursdays and Fridays. We can clearly see the economic impact of tourism in our communities. So how do we attract people to our events? Because these are not just tourism dollars that we're talking about. Studies show that many, if not most, of the new businesses that come to rural areas discover us first as visitors and tourists. They first fall in love with the community, then they bring their families and their enterprises. So we can't underestimate the value of marketing our region. So there's improved signage and mapping of the Palouse Scenic Byway is just starting to show up. The towns are going to get their kiosks by the end of the year, I'm told. 2 Degrees Northwest is going to update the Artisan Trail Guide and have an overhaul that will be finished by the end of the year. This focuses on our region's agritourism, linking our heritage, our agriculture, and art. And if your community is not represented on that, make sure that you get somebody involved, because this has a broad regional marketing opportunity for us. We've been offering social media workshops to communities so they can post and tweet their news and events, working with communities to upgrade their websites. This is no longer an expensive or optional opportunity for communities, because you need to have a dynamic, well-maintained website in order to attract visitors and businesses. And our communities are working really hard to promote themselves. Colfax has re-energized their downtown association. They're participating in the state's Main Street program to help keep tourism dollars in their community. They're expanding the programming and hours at their community center, and which acts almost as an incubator to businesses in Colfax. They're doing a great job there. La Crosse Community Pride in January had a community conversation. 65 people in a town of 300 showed up to talk about what they could do to improve the business opportunities in their community. And this was on the same night as Missoula Children's Theater was at the school. I thought that was pretty impressive. They've created 6 committees: Arts, Heritage, their Farm Fest, which is their community celebration, Beautification, and Economic Development. And they've been meeting monthly or bi-monthly to come up with strategies to improve their community. And 2 weeks ago, the Economic Development Committee in La Crosse hosted a business showcase of sorts, and 7 companies showed up who had ties to the community, people who had come from the community that set up businesses. And it was an amazing display of the diversity of the entrepreneurial activity in that town. And many of the companies were not known to the individuals who live here. And it's in a town of 300, you assume everyone knows everybody's business, but we don't. So it's really important to take stock of what we have. In Tico and Latah, they're in the process of working through researching their legendary mammoth boneyard, putting a proposal together to manufacture a replica of a tusk, I believe, to draw attention to that significant find. And last week I went to Tico and participated in an elevator pitch session where locals pitched their business ideas. And again, there is a fascinating spirit of entrepreneurship in these small communities. We met that evening in Eclair's company, Coffee and Company, and if you've not stopped in Tico for one of their namesake pastries, it's worth a stop. It rivals any big city eclair. So with the theme of entrepreneurship, I'm going to segue into the Palouse Knowledge Corridor. As I represent SWEDA on the Palouse Knowledge Corridor, and for the last 18 months have been the co-chair. And this is a regional effort to market opportunities on the Palouse. We have both universities, both chambers, both counties, cities, economic, people who work in economic development. And we do 2 showcases a year, business showcases. Last fall, we did a trailing spouse workshop to address the issues of recruiting dual income or dual career couples to the area. And this mostly affects our big industries, the universities, the hospitals, our high-tech firms. But it's an important situation to understand. And next fall, we're going to focus on creating a regional angel fund. giving local investors the opportunity to finance companies on the Palouse. And I'm going to end today's comments with by talking about our signature event, which is coming up. This year we are launching the Be the Entrepreneur Bootcamp. This is a 5-day intensive training that begins June 21 and runs to June 25. The opening reception is going to be here at Banyan's. 18 companies as of this morning are registered. We have over 30 sponsors who've given us more than $50,000 to get this project off the ground. We've pulled together an impressive lineup of industry experts, over 30 mentors, instructors, and coaches, many volunteering their time because they understand the importance of this effort and the impact that the boot camp will have here. And these companies, these 18 companies, are coming in the 3 tracks that we've identified as businesses and industries that we do well here on the Palouse: value-added agriculture, animal health, and technology. And there are 2 public events that I'd like to bring your attention to and hope that you will consider attending, not only to show your support, but to witness and talk to the entrepreneurs that are emerging into our communities. There might be a business there that you could attract to your community. So the first is Monday, June 23rd from 6 to 9. It's our keynote dinner and awards banquet at the University of Idaho Sub. We will be awarding the first Entrepreneur of the Palouse Awards. 3 individuals in our 2 communities will receive a $1,000 check in the categories of individual, business, and rising star. Our keynote speaker is Patrick L. Hughes from the West Side. He's got a fascinating story about his rise in entrepreneurism. Tickets are $75, and you can purchase those online. If you just Google Be the Entrepreneur Bootcamp, you'll find it. And then the final day, Wednesday, we're going to be all day at the SEL Event Center. And I would invite you to join us for the public welcome at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you will get to hear the presentations from the boot camp industry track crucible winners from the night before. And I'd like you to consider coming and then joining us for lunch. The tickets for lunch are $22, also available online. And the lunch speaker will be Shane Needham from Alturas Analytics. So consider coming out and seeing what we're doing to attract small businesses and exciting businesses to our communities.